All right, so here we go. This is a February submission for the Dodecannual cooking competition thing, challenge, whatever you want to call it. All right, so the theme for this month is Asian. I am going to make sushi rolls, maki rolls, specifically spicy salmon maki rolls. So let me grab the camera here, show you real quick what I'm working with. So we've got our salmon. There we go. It's a half pound of salmon we're working with. I've got 2 cups of sushi rice in this bowl right here. This is 2 tablespoons of sugar. That is 1 tablespoon of salt and 2 tablespoons of rice vinegar, which you see right there. And I've got my sushi nori, which I'm going to actually cut the sheets in half for my rolls. And then equipment, you're gonna see a whole bunch of stuff here. So this whole wooden thing here, this is a sushi rice basically preparation bowl. This whole thing came as a set. These are little dishes for wasabi, ginger. These are rolling mats for sushi rolls. These little chopstick trays. These spoons here are for like, you know, fish roe and stuff like that. These spoons right here are actually for preparing the rice, and then this is a lid for this. We'll get into that more once we get to the sushi rice. And then I have a small colander here. Reason for the colander, let me get around front. So the reason for the colander is for cleaning our sushi rice. The single most important thing to do with the sushi rice is to clean it. The reason for that is you want to wash away all of the loose gluten so that your rice doesn't get starchy and sticky. The end goal is you want your rice to come out looking like somewhat translucent, like pearls kind of thing. So we're gonna go over to the sink and you're gonna watch me wash rice while I talk to you, I guess. So here we are at the sink. Gonna run cold water. There, sushi rice, pour it into the colander. And we are just going to continually rinse the sushi rice until the water coming off of it is completely clear. The reason we're using cold water is because we don't want to start cooking the rice just yet. We're simply just washing away the starch, the glutens. From what I've read in professional sushi kitchens, an initiate, someone in training in making sushi, an apprentice, would spend something like 2 years. Their job would be washing the sushi rice. They're a little crazy about that. They're still a little cloudy. It's important to knead the rice, because otherwise it's going to form like a ball, and all that gluten is going to stay in the middle of that pile. We don't want that. Water short is cold. Fucking cold. Holy shit. We're going to go a little bit warmer, just for the sake of my goddamn hands. Alright. Sushi is fairly simple. The rice is the most complex part. And when you actually are talking about sushi, The sushi is actually referring to the rice. It's not the fish. You can have sushi rolls that are not fish, but they all have rice. Sashimi is not sushi. Alright, I think we're pretty good. So, I'm going to take this rice and I'm going to go put it in a pot. I'm going to move the camera back over there and I'll be with you in a minute. Good. I got my rice. It's going in a pot. This is 2 cups of rice. I have 2 cups of water already in this pot. I'm going to add the rice to cold water in the pot. The water in the pot is also unsalted. You do not season your rice at this stage. There will be seasoning coming after we cook the rice. Cool. Now, got my rice in the water. I'm going to set that to boil on high. We are going to leave it uncovered. Currently uncovered. We will cover it when it comes time to simmer the rice. In the meantime, let's take my fish out. So I am planning on making a spicy salmon, which means I'm going to dice this salmon up and mix it in with a spicy mayo. And that's going to be the filling for my rolls. First thing I need to do, there's skin on this salmon that needs to go. Once we get under the skin, we pretty much want to get our finger under the salmon and just let the knife do the work, peeling the skin away from the salmon. I'm being incredibly careful because I just sharpened this knife. We go right from the side, make it a little easier. Oh yeah. Maybe not. Okay, and the salmon has a break in the middle. That's fine. Cut that, and then I'll cut that free. A little bit more of that silver skin left behind, so we're just going to remove that. Again, being very careful not to cut myself. There you go. Skin, scales. So, if you are making sushi, be certain that the fish that you're getting is sushi grade, and all that really means is that it was well handled. And I have a cat jumping on the counter. She may give up. She's walking in front of the camera now. She's going to come over here trying to get the fish. This may become a catastrophe. Let's see how it works out. Come on. Aha, I freed the salmon. Cool. Alright. Good enough. A bunch of slimy salmon skin. I need to remove a cat. You, come here. No. Yes, son of a bitch. Go. Hygienic. Doesn't matter. I'm the only one eating it. Okay. So, yeah, my rice is going. We're pretty much going to let that rice go to boil. Once the rice is boiling, I'm going to bring it down to a simmer. And we're going to let it simmer for 15 minutes. So I'm going to have some more talking time with you. I've got a new wine. I'm going to pop that open. You know, I'm going to finish the fish while the salmon, or not the salmon, while the rice is simmering. So once we get there, we'll worry about that. I'm going to clean up quick. Okay. Salmon is perfectly safe, so, I mean, I didn't wash my hands with like soap and water or anything. Just a good rinse. Good rinse on my knife. I just want my knife nice and clean for when I'm going to cut the sushi later. And even then, I'm going to get a little bowl of water to actually like wet the blade of my knife as I'm cutting it to keep it clean. You know, basically keep the starch off so the sushi doesn't drag when you're cutting it. I'm actually going to need that cutting board back to chop this salmon up. See how thorough I am in planning? So, we are not quite boiling yet. We're also not stirring our rice at all. Do not stir your rice. It's just going to agitate it. It's going to cook not right. Let it just boil. We're just about at a rolling boil. Once it is a rolling boil, we'll bring it down. We'll cover it. We'll let it go for 15 minutes. Simmer for 15 minutes. Then, once those 15 minutes are up, I'm going to take it off the heat, and it's going to sit for another 10 minutes. Remember, the last video I said cooking is not chemistry. Sushi rice is chemistry. I've done this before, and I screwed up terribly because I didn't do chemistry. Okay, we're almost there. So I'm not going to get started on anything else. I'll pull out. I can pull out the bottom one. We got time for that. So, today I am drinking an FPO Frappato. Farmwide explores varieties from the far reaches of the globe, like Frappato, a grape indigenous to Sicily, complex while still being lighter in body and bursting with red fruits. It's a quintessential expression of this fresh, elegant grape. So it's like a sangria. I threw it in the fridge. I couldn't find anything that told me whether or not a Frappato should be served warm or cold. I mean, it sounds like a sangria, so I'm treating it like a sangria. I made it cold. We'll see how this goes. Oh, we're boiling. So, bring that down to low, and we are going to simmer for 15 minutes. That's not quite as low as I'd like it to go, so I'm actually going to bring it over here to the simmer burner. A propane stove tends to get a lot hotter than necessary. I love my stove. It cooks very hot. I enjoy that. Come on. There you go. It smells like it's like a sangria, but it has you can smell the bitterness that you get with like a red, like a Cabernet Sauvignon. Let's get a glass. Again, I still do not own wine glasses, so we're going out of a pint glass. I probably will never own wine glasses. Well, that's not true. I won't never own wine glasses. I will probably never buy wine glasses. That's a good amount. Cool. We'll see how much of that we get through. So, we're simmering for 15 minutes. Okay, it doesn't taste like I thought it would. It's not sweet like a sangria. It's more of a dark red. But it's not bitter. I mean, I like it. Okay. So, what we're going to do next is we're going to chop up our salmon. A little piece of skin. I might make a few slices of this to sashimi. A little sashimi. I might make a nigiri. But this little piece here is going to get chopped. I am surrounded by cats. They want the fish. This is going to be a battle. A chef's knife is honestly not the best knife for sushi, for fish in general. A fish knife would be the appropriate knife for fish, but I don't own a fish knife. How sad is that? I need a fish knife. So, we're going to chop this salmon up into little chunks. Yeah, that's good size. Basically little cubes. Small dice. So like, that's the size piece that we're looking at there. It's tiny little chunks. Okay, a big way here. So like this right here, that's perfectly good to eat right now. Right up. So membrane right here, let me make sure they cut out. It's the bloodline. Perfectly edible, but texturally not the same. So we're just going to remove that. Meanwhile, I'm just cutting little fingers of salmon, like that. Stacking them up, and then I'm going to chop them. And I'm going to cut a few pieces for nigiri. So for nigiri, I want to cut on a bias so that I have a nice wide piece. So, not expertly cut, but you know, that's a good nigiri piece. Let's see if we can get a better one. This stuff is so slippery. And this, yeah. A chef's knife is not meant for fish. Okay, so these aren't clean cuts, but I don't care. This is for me. Okay, that's a good piece. That's a good piece for nigiri. That's a good clean cut. So I got 2 for nigiri. Ooh, excuse me. It's wine and fishes. Delicious. So I made about 2 cups of rice. That's probably going to be more rice than I need, but that's why I'm going to make nigiri. That's why I'm going to make a bunch of rolls. You know, I'm going to go to town on some sushi. For one person, I mean, you know, generally 1 cup of rice per person. So for one person, 2 cups of rice is too much, but I'm a monster. So I'm going to eat 2 cups of rice with all my fish. Now the reason that I chose to do spicy salmon is because you're going to make a nice mixture. Your salmon cuts don't need to be good. You're basically just chopping this up. It's going to get mixed with a spicy mayonnaise and rolled up in a roll, and no one's going to know what it looks like. Okay, this is a decent amount of sushi. Decent amount of fish. So I have 2 nigiri, and that'll probably be enough for two maki rolls. And here's our little blood meat line that we're gonna get rid of. Okay, 6 minutes left on the rice. It's looking good. And then, yeah, our 2 little pieces for nigiri. We'll see how that goes. All right, let me rinse my hands. So that's about how much salmon we ended up with, all chopped up. My 2 pieces for my nigiri. A little drink of wine. Okay. Where am I? Cool. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make our sushi rice seasoning mixture. To season sushi rice, you're going to mix 5 parts, 2 parts sugar, 2 parts vinegar, rice vinegar, 1 part kosher salt. So, 2 parts sugar, 1 part kosher salt, 2 parts rice vinegar. We're going to mix that up. And we're going to stick it in the microwave for 30 seconds. The goal there is to dissolve the sugar into the vinegar mixture. For this, because I'm doing 2 cups of rice, I did 2 tablespoons of sugar, 2 tablespoons of vinegar, 1 tablespoon of salt. So 2, 2, 1. Sugar, vinegar, salt. 2, 2, 1. And you're going to do that based off of how much rice you have. If you have 2 cups of rice, you're going to do 2 tablespoons of sugar. If you have 1 cup of rice, you're going to do 1 tablespoon of sugar, 1 tablespoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of sugar, 1 tablespoon of vinegar, 1/2 tablespoon of salt. Like that. Okay. Okay. That's pretty good. The only particulates I'm seeing in there right now look like the salt, and that's good. All right. We're gonna let that sit to cool. Now, the whole thing about sushi rice is you're cooking everything. You're heating everything. You're heating the vinegar mixture. You're heating the rice. You want it as cool as possible when you're preparing it. So, let's talk about this bowl a little bit. So, this is a sushi rice preparation bowl. Its literal purpose is just for preparing sushi rice. It is a wooden bowl. You can use a glass bowl instead of a wooden bowl if you don't have one. A wooden bowl is ideal because it's going to wick away moisture. It's going to absorb the moisture from the rice, and it's going to allow things to mix up everything much better without it becoming gloopy, sticky. A glass bowl also works. You do not want to use a metal bowl, specifically because a metal bowl is going to dissipate the heat too quickly. You want to keep the heat in the rice as you're mixing the vinegar mixture in. A metal bowl is going to take that heat and disperse it too quickly. So, glass or wood. Wood is ideal. We got 2 minutes left on that rice, and then we gotta wait 10 minutes. What else I got that I can do? I'm gonna clean my knife. Okay. All right, 1 minute left on that. I'm just gonna shut the heat off now, and I'm gonna reset my timer for 10 minutes. We're gonna let that simmer so the rice can cool down. After 10 minutes, we're gonna place it in here and we're gonna start seasoning the rice. Move this to the side for now. Let's prep some nigiri. My board got wet. This is Blue Dragon Sushi Nori. I said prep nigiri. It's not nigiri, it's nori. How many sheets do they give you in here? I don't even know. I got 2 cups of rice, so I'm probably going to be able to make enough rolls to use up all of this. I might make a hand roll. We'll see. What do we got here? What are we working with? That's a lot. Oh, geez. Yeah, there's a lot in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 sheets. Okay. Let's plan for 4. Now, nori has 2 sides. It has a rough side, which you can tell by touching, and it has a smooth, shiny side. The rough side is the side that you want out. No, in. Rough side in. Rough side in. Smooth, shiny side out. So I'm going to take 4 of these sheets. If I can separate 4 of these sheets. They smell like fish food, honestly. They're just algae. That's 2, 3, and 1 more. Okay. That's 4 sheets of the 10. Honestly, some of which are probably going to get thrown away. I feel bad about that. I mean, I could just eat them. Like nori, you can just straight up eat nori. They do it in Japan, and it's actually like nori chips and stuff like that. But we're going to take our 4 sheets and long ways. So there's a long side, there's a short side. Short side left and right. Long side top and bottom. I'm going to cut these in half. Right down the middle. Oh, that's a crunchy boy. Good enough. So, you end up with sheets like that, little rectangles like that. These are going to be your rolls. If you didn't cut them in half, they'd end up being real fat. They'd end up being like that big around. We want about half that, obviously. So we use half the roll. If you want to make like hand rolls, use the full roll. You basically make a hand roll is like an ice cream cone full of sushi. They're pretty good. You have to like nori for those, because you're going to get a lot of just mouthful of nori and not sushi to start it off, and then once you get in there, then it's good. You could also make like a burrito out of nori, like a sushi burrito. We got 6 minutes to kill. So, what's going on here? What do we got going on? I've got my salmon. So, to make a spicy salmon, spicy mayo that they use in sushi, your ingredients are mayo and spicy. So, mayo and sriracha. Those are the only 2 ingredients. That's all you need. You can also use mayo and sambal oelek. That also works. Our vinegar mixture is cooling down nicely here. So yeah, let's get started on mixing this up. I'm gonna get a little, what do I want to use? Not a spoon, I'm gonna use a fork. The spoon is gonna collect a lot of the sauce, and the fork is gonna mix it better. So, I don't know if I need to peel a seal on this, probably, yeah. It's a brand new mayo. I buy mayo just for this. Generally don't use mayo for anything else. And for this, I like the little squeeze container. It's just easier to, like, you know, get everything out without making too much of a mess. So, this you're going to do by eye. This is to taste. If you want it drier, use less. If you want more sauce, use more. You're just going to do it to eye. So, mayo. Cool. Out of this container, I did 1 squeeze. I'll probably add some more. Then, a little sriracha. Just exploded all over me. That's fantastic. Nice and spicy. Chili pepper in the back of the throat. Oh, yeah. Okay. Cool. Get a paper towel and clean this up a little bit. it all over my brand new towel. That's okay. These are cheap towels. I bought them specifically to get messy. Cool. And let's do that a little mix. Okay. So we're gonna end up with a nice pink little salmon mixture, like that. Perfect. At this point, okay, we got 2 minutes left on our rice. That was looking like way more rice than I expected. I don't know why I made 2 cups of rice. 1 cup would have been enough. That's okay. I'll eat it. So, this is a brand new thing that I bought on Amazon. It's like 40 bucks for this whole set. You get the little dishes for your wasabi and your ginger. You get a bunch of sushi roll mats for rolling your sushi. Little bamboo trays for your chopsticks. Some spoons for, what do you call it? Fish eggs, roe. You get these spoons. These are for mixing your rice. You need both of them. Well, you don't need both of them, but yeah, if you want to do it quick, use both. The technique for this is actually pretty interesting, is you want to be fanning your rice as you're mixing it, and you're also not stirring the rice with the spoon, you're slashing into the rice. So you want to agitate the rice as little as possible, so you're not flipping it over and folding it and everything like that, potentially crushing the rice. You don't want to do that. So you're just slashing into the rice, pretty much. You'll see. I'll show you. 1 minute. Because of how simple sushi is and how long it takes the rice to cook, it's very easy to get impatient and want to just rush the rice. You really want to let the rice cool down. Some recipes even tell you to like put the rice not in the fridge, but you want to put it in a bowl with like a damp towel over it to let it cool down for like a half hour. 10 minutes should be enough. Alton Brown says 10 minutes, so I believe 10 minutes is good. We're at 30 seconds. The frappato is good. Do a refill before we get started on the rice. Okay. Yes, I know. Ho, ho, ho. So, here's our rice. That's quite a bit of rice. Okay. That's very hot. Some of the rice burned on the bottom of the pan. Not burned, but stuck. That's not a big deal. We got plenty of rice here. I'm just going to spread the rice out here. And we'll get started on that. If you do get a pan where rice sticks to the bottom like that, just let it soak in some water, it'll loosen up. Alright, so our goal here is to mix our rice with our vinegar mixture and cool it down. Alright, vinegar mixture. A little mix, and there we go. And like I said, we're just going to slash that vinegar mixture into the rice. The rice instantly becomes less sticky. That's the goal. We're aerating our rice. So, here's the thing they don't tell you up front. You are literally supposed to do this for like 10 minutes. Just keep stirring this rice until it's completely cooled down. Honestly, they say a lot of places, well, a lot of recipes that I've looked up actually say that you should do this as a two-person job. You have one person fanning the rice while one person stirs it. It'll speed up the process. I don't have another person here right now, so we're taking the long way. It's gonna take a long time for me. For you, I'm gonna speed up the video and you won't have to worry about it. Pretty much as long as you see steam coming off the rice, you need to keep going. It's very well seasoned. So we got that good level of stickiness without being like lumpy. So like each individual grain is sticky rather than it just like lumping together. That's what you want. Because you want your roll to hold together. You don't want rice falling all over the place. I'm just eating the grains that get stuck to my hand. And I'm not seeing steam rise off of this anymore. And it's still pretty warm. I made a lot of rice. I'm allowed to do this. I'm not going to use it all. Well, I'm going to use it all. But I don't need to use it all. Alright. That's well mixed. Now, even after you mix it, the reason this thing comes with a lid because you're supposed to let it sit even longer. That's tasty. First time I made it, it came out very vinegary. This time it's perfect. So we're gonna let that sit, say another 10 minutes. Our nori is ready to go. Our salmon is ready to go. Our sashimi is ready to go, but it's not going to be sashimi. It's going to be nigiri. I'm going to make a little roll. I don't have wasabi though. That's okay. We'll do it without wasabi. Generally, you would take the nigiri, you would make a little rice ball, put wasabi on the underside of the fish, and you lay that over top of your nigiri. But I don't have wasabi, so that's not going to happen. We'll have to get by with what we have. Sushi mat. You see a lot of people wrapping their sushi mat in saran wrap. That's only necessary if you're going to do an inside-out roll like a California roll where the rice is on the outside. Otherwise, you don't need to wrap it in saran wrap. The nori will protect your sushi mat or whatever from the rice. So don't worry about that. So, I didn't even realize what I did. I took 4 sheets and I cut them in half. I have enough to make 8 rolls. I am not going to eat 8 rolls, but I'm one of those monsters that's okay with eating sushi day after. So they're going to end up getting refrigerated, and I'm going to eat them tomorrow too. I'm going to eat my nigiri tonight though. I'm falling out of camera. I'm going to eat my nigiri tonight with my sushi rolls. Oh, okay. There's no steam coming out of this, right? No. This is good. So we're just going to let it sit. And what you're doing there is with the wooden bowl, it's wicking away moisture. It's actually drying out the rice, so it'll hold together rather than falling apart. Too much moisture, it'll fall apart. And that's no good. We don't want that. We want a good sticky rice so we can have our rolls stay in one piece. I don't know if I have enough salmon for 8 rolls. I sure have enough rice, but a ½ pound of salmon may not have been enough. That's okay. We'll make as many as we can. I just need enough for presentation, right? Why do I keep cooking things that require me to wait around? I guess I can clean up. I'll do that later. I got nothing to talk about. This is terrible content, right? Okay. Thank goodness for editing. Okay, let's talk about the frappato. I don't have anything to say about the frappato either. I don't know, yeah. One of the other things that I'm looking at doing, I don't have chicken to do it with, but I was going to do a barbecue chicken roll. That would have been pretty good actually to do. Just a little barbecue sauce, a little shredded chicken, some cheddar cheese. Roll that up. Oh man, drizzle a little barbecue sauce over top of that. That's fancy as shit. We got 1 minute left. We're going to start making some rolls in a minute. Enough games. Sushi is a very handsy dish. Maybe I'll do my nigiri first. Because they'll be quick and easy. I don't have to move the camera so much with those. I'm just going to take, a little ball of rice in my hand, and without squeezing it, I'm going to try to roll it into a ball. This was a mistake. I forgot to get water to wet my hands. That is an important stage because now I look like this. So I'm going to eat this rice off of my hands, and I'm going to get a bowl of water so that I can properly handle this. So I'll see you in a minute. Okay. It's delicious. So here we go. Bowl of water. Oh my god. So much wine and rice. It's important to eat starchy foods when you're drinking. That way, the alcohol can absorb into the starchy foods and your body can process it over time rather than your stomach having to fight around with it, trying to process it. It's very acidic, your stomach doesn't like it. Give yourself starchy foods, bready foods, pretzels. Pretzels are amazing. Sushi. Sushi is very good if you're drinking. Eat sushi when you drink. Eat sushi in general. Let's wet our hands. I got wet hands now. Let's grab some rice It is much less sticky. I'll tell you that. Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing how that works. Just wet your hands. Without squeezing, mold it. So, I see sushi chefs doing this. It's 2 fingers. Basically, they're using 2 fingers to mold the shape. And that's kind of the shape that you want. Kind of like, if you look at it from the side, it's like a half circle. That's the shape that you want. Then you would take wasabi, you would put it on the other side of the underside of the fish, and you would put it like that. And that's your nigiri. All right? Let's make another. Wet our hands. Makes a huge difference. Okay. Without squeezing. Do not squeeze. You don't want to break the rice. You just want to mold it into shape like Play-Doh. Get a little half circle. Nigiri. You take wasabi, put it on the other side of the nigiri. You don't have wasabi. So there we go. It's my nigiri. Look at that. I'll show you pictures of it once it's done. Once I plate everything up. Nope. Rice is falling. Still delicious. Wet our hands. Okay. Now we are going to rice up our nori. We're going to take a good amount of rice. We're going to lay it out on our nori, and we are going to flatten this rice across our nori, covering every square inch of this bitch. If the rice starts sticking to your fingers, you got your bucket of water. And I will show you a picture of what the nori is supposed to look like once you're done applying rice. This is actually going to use up quite a bit of the rice, so I'm actually not too upset about how much I made. Don't you roll away. That might be too much rice. I don't know. We'll find out. This is our first roll. Let's shift that rice over. You really just need rice to cover all the surface of the nori. You don't need a thick pad of rice like I'm doing currently. I mean, that actually looks pretty good. I think that's pretty good. So, do a rinse, dry my hands, I'll grab the camera, and I'll show you what we're looking at here. So first things first, here are our nigiri. I'd say that looks pretty damn good. I wish I had the wasabi. And then, this is what we're looking at. See, we're pretty much we got a nice pad of rice on top of our nori. I really want to show you me rolling it up. Let's see if I can make room here. That's a good angle. All right. So, let's shift this a little bit. Well, this is going to be a fat roll. I can feel it already. Now, we're going to take our spicy salmon. And our goal is to make a nice line. Yeah, this is going to be a fat roll. Which I'm okay with. I just don't think it's going to actually roll all out. No Autobots here. We'll see how this goes. That's tasty. Okay, so for rolling, use our mat. Oh, this is not gonna work out. I'm gonna wet my fingers, so I'm playing with rice. We're gonna do better on the next one, I promise. Yep, this one's gonna be a mess. Yep, not quite closed up because we got way too much rice. So this one's a mess. That's what we end up with. That's fine. I'm gonna eat it anyway. Let's move that off to the side and get on to the next one. We're gonna use significantly less rice this time. That's really, like, you want to be able to see the nori through the rice, is the reality of it. Oh man, give myself the hiccups from all this wine. Yeah, so that's much more like how we want it to be. There's still parts that you can kind of see the green of the nori through the rice. That's gonna roll up much better than that monstrosity. Tell you what, if you watch the end of the video, I'm gonna just shove that whole fucked up roll in my face. Enjoy. If you're that kind of monster like me that wants to see that kind of thing, that's gonna happen. I'm gonna speed eat that sushi. All right. Let's get our salmon on there. That's the thing about sushi. It is very not American. American, you want to put as much as you can in there, like a big stuffed burrito. You're not doing that with sushi. All right, let's roll this bad boy. Oh, that was a spicy one. Okay. Okay. Gonna roll. That seems pretty good. Oh, we're almost there. That almost sealed. This one's unfolding meanwhile. Let's tighten you back up, I guess. Oh, you just... Alright, what we're gonna do here, this is against my better judgment, we're gonna add another piece of nori in there. Just to seal this bad boy up. We might need a little more rice. This is gonna be a fat roll, and it's gonna be weird. Oh, I promise it's gonna be weird. We're gonna just put some rice on this end, just to work as glue for sealing this bad boy up. Oh man, you guys are getting the director's cut here. Okay. Bring that bad boy over. Try this again. That should do it. Look at that. That's a sealed up roll for the most part. Jesus Christ. This is getting fun. I'm enjoying this. Next. Rough side up. Let's get some rice. I will get one perfect roll out of this. Maybe I should have left the sheets whole as like a handicap. Disclaimer, this is only my second time ever making sushi. So, and the first time I fucked it up royally. Okay. Think we're good on rice? A little spread out. A little more spread out and we're good. Okay. Salmon. I'll get the proportions right. Okay. Let's see how this one goes. Oof, I don't like that. I'm seeing this, the mayonnaise come through the mat, but that might have been from before. Let's see. No, a little bit. Ugh. We're getting there. I mean, that one's better than the last. Every single one is a little bit better. I think the nori might be a little bit undersized, and that might be my issue. It's okay. We're gonna keep making these. Rough side up. We'll move these over to the cutting board here. Oh, that first one is such a fat boy. Now, one of the major differences that I'm noticing already between my sushi and the sushi I would say get at a restaurant. Hi, I'm over here. One of the major differences that I'm noticing is like picking up and moving those rolls. They're still pretty warm, so the rice still has some warmth to it. Sushi restaurants, they make their rice well in advance. Honestly, if you can allow your rice to sit out for like an hour or two to cool down to room temperature, that's ideal. You do not want to put your rice in the fridge. If you put your rice in the fridge, it causes a chemical reaction with the starches where your rice is going to harden. You do not want that. You want to leave it out at room temperature. That's why these things have. That's why these bowls have a lid, so you can just let it sit there. Again, like I said, sushi rice leads to impatience. That's why the Japanese are better at it. They handle patience very well. I don't. That's why I drink. We're gonna try another roll now. A little bit more rice. This is too much rice, I can tell you that right now. I can tell you, I am surprised. I'm using a lot more rice than I thought I would. I mean, that may be through error. I said this was too much rice, and then I just put it all on here anyway. But we'll see how this goes. I think this is good. I think this might be my best one yet. I've got enough salmon for maybe 2 more rolls, including this one. If I used full nori sheets, it would have closed. But I don't want huge nori sheets. I don't want huge rolls. Huge maki. I think that's going to be good. And then that's enough for one more roll. Let's roll this guy up. I think this is going to be the one. I feel it. So I'm getting serious now. This is not the one. I can see rice through the mat. It did not seal. So my nori sheets are too small for what I'm trying. Oh, look at that. That's so close. That is so close. I don't care. I'm gonna eat it. That's a good sushi roll in my opinion. Last one. Rough side up. Rice. We're going to go very thin on the rice on this one. I want a roll that closes up. This is incredibly thin on the rice. I may get a little bit more rice on this. Just a teensy little bit. That's all I'm adding. Tiny little bit. Okay. That's all the salmon. There's none left after this. This is my last roll. This has got quite a bit of rice. I don't got quite a bit of... I have maybe like 2 nigiri worth of rice left over. Let's see. God, you can see it too. Right there. That's all the mayonnaise coming through. I don't know if that's from previous ones or not. I'm not seeing so much rice. This is my best one yet. But still, not sealed. Damn it. Alright, that's all I have. I don't have any more. I could do one with just rice, but that's stupid. So I didn't come out with any perfect rolls. Let me move the camera. How's that? That's good. Alright. So not much rice left. You saw my fucked up maki rolls. 2 sheets of nigiri left. Like I said, you can just eat this. Algae. You know, have a little rice with it. Like some sort of animal. If I'm being perfectly honest, that's really good together. It is tasty. I'm gonna enjoy this. So at this point, I'm gonna clean up my workspace. I'm going to cut these rolls. We're going to do some plating, and then I'll do a final shot of the plating, and that'll be it. And I'll drink the rest of this bottle of wine, because that's all I got left in this glass. Now rice. Rice is everywhere, but it's sticky. There we go. That's final plating. That is spicy salmon maki and salmon nigiri. Spin it around so you get a better view of the nigiri. Don't look as good from that side, so we'll, you know, whatever. They look really good from that angle. I think so. Yeah, so that's what we ended up with. That's a lot. That's 4 rolls of sushi. And 2 nigiri. And then this beast, which I'm going to shove in my face. So there you have it. That's sushi. To the best of my ability. Yes, I know. It's time to be done, right? Yes, the kitten thinks it's time to be done. Therefore, we will finish. With that, I gotta eat this whole plate of sushi. But first, oh my god, you're involved now. Don't drink that. Okay. Well, here's the beast. Here's the sushi burrito. And here I go. Mmm. That is fucking delicious. And I am gonna eat the whole thing. Look at all this extra rice. I'm not gonna eat the extra rice, just because I'll end up filling up on rice and not be able to eat any of this. I gotta at least eat the nigiri. The maki rolls, honestly, like, I'm comfortable refrigerating those. Again, don't drink that. That's dirty fish and hand water. This is the kitten. She is now involved. I hope you enjoy that. No, get out of the way! Okay, she's rubbing herself up against the camera, so stop it. Okay, you gotta stop. I'm gonna remove her. Meow! This is the kitten. She hates being held. Hi, kitten. Look at the camera. Yes, see, she hates being held. She's the loveliest little cat, but she will not allow you to hold her. Yeah. I got a bucket of rice. Well, it's not that much rice, honestly. Like, whoop. I went through most of the rice. That's all that's left of the rice. We got our plate. I got my giant burrito. There we go. At me. Peace out. Subscribe. Bye.